Can you hear us now?
Testing.
Testing. Testing, testing. He can hear.
Okay. So, so to recap, so this is the money that is available. So I don't know if you wanted to start thinking or decide what ideas you would like to use this in money or consider, or you can start the discussion about.
So since you mentioned the other grant that we're thinking of applying for, I'm just going to read that so we can hear it. Financial year 26 Cultural Facilities and Vibrant Communities Grant guidelines and applications are now available due August 29th, 2025. Let's see, they'll fund programs such as performances, exhibits, residencies, workshops, murals, public art, arts festivals, and capacity building projects for arts programs and organizations, among other types of arts programs. The projects must take place between October 15th, 2025 and June 1st, 2026. Grant awards range from $1,000 to $5,000.
I think that that's not applicable for us because we are not outdating any facility.
Right.
The second one probably can be.
Yeah, performances, exhibits, residencies, workshops, murals, etc., public art. There's a training workshop available on the website. The link is in that email. And wait. Oh, so there's two. So Cultural Facilities Grant. Okay, that's the one you were just saying. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So will no cultural facilities, but the other one.
Yeah. Does anyone want to spitball ideas or?
Well, I think we had a meeting previously where we spitballed a whole bunch of ideas, and like one of them was like with the, what's it called? Electrical boxes. I think we left that one on hold last year.
That's true. We could potentially pay for that.
Yeah. So what was the cost for each electrical box?
I think we were saying 2,000.
1,000, yeah.
Yeah. So we could potentially do 2 or 3 out of these funds.
There is I think that we have a lot of murals already, with the 2 coming up that will be very big. But just to mention, there is a boxing club in Beaufort Highway, is one that is next to Sanoloense restaurant, in front of El Rey del Taco. Is a yellow, and he reached out to the city to say that if there are additional funding, he will be open to, like the mural can be done in their facility. It's not that he is going to do the mural, but he was asking, but do you have any funded? Is that is the case? My wall is available.
Okay.
So that's the Sinhalese restaurant?
No, the next to.
The one next to them.
It's like a boxing club.
It's the one that like recently got like rock thrown on the window, right?
I don't know about that, but
Are we talking about where the Mozart Bakery is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
like right before, if you're coming from north to south.
Got it. All right.
It's like after Home Run barbershop.
Okay.
also in one of the facade business that they received the facade business in New P Street, what is the Lavanderia La Lavanderia.
Mhm.
The back of that is a white wall, and that business also say that if there are additional funding, they will be open to discuss.
So
And they-
how does that work if there's public funds going to a mural on private property?
It will be like an agreement.
Mhm.
So
It's outlined in the master agreements.
Oh, okay.
When public art goes up on a wall, even though it's on private property, obviously if it's a private business. So we, or the city, is allowing that space. And so while the art is up, we basically it's almost an agreement that we don't own, but we control the
Okay.
space. And that way, the reason we wrote it that way is because just in case somebody lets or someone else, well, not necessarily paint over it, but if it starts to decay and becomes blight, and then the city can take it over.
Right.
yeah.
Hi. Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Eh, Yeah, so it's kind of like the same process that we're doing when they pay, but it has to be additional because it has to be approved by the council, and the council has to say that the money,
right.
and then an agreement has
Are
to be
they,
done.
did either of them mention if they're willing to let part of it, or how much are they looking for, or?
They just want to look pretty.
Yeah, I think that because they knew about the facade grant, they were also, let's say, like it can be something like that.
Yeah, we
but-
could establish something like a,
A middle point.
well, we could do something like where we set up a certain amount of funds that could be applied for by a business owner to put up a mural, you know, in addition to their own fund, like some kind of like fund matching up to a certain amount.
That's just what I was thinking.
But that would be like the facade grant that's going on in Dorville, where they give you like half of it, right? Well,
Yeah.
they reimburse half of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they pay for all of the scene, and then the city reimburse half of that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about how to make sure that whatever we do seems fair, you know?
So the laundromat, the lavanderia, it's the one that's by like those tornado buses.
I think it's more like close to Oscar, isn't it? The thing about the location is when you drive the Marta, you can see the whole wall there. So
I'm just trying to figure out where it is. Is it like the one next to Dorville United on the same street?
like
No.
I care. It's kind of in front of.
Okay.
Is you go from the previous from the Marta station to the Shallow Four, it will be in the right side.
Okay.
There is a series of business, a small business, and there is like a white and black windows, and it's called La Lavanderia. And then in the back of those, because it's like a
White.
three buildings together, it's all white. And when you drive Marta, you can see that before getting to the station.
I think we are talking about the same place.
Mhm. But I think that idea to save for this funding, and when you get a certain amount, then you make it that call for artists or for business that wanted to apply. That can be interesting. And it not necessarily has to be only murals. It can be other kind of art.
right.
Yeah, a giant sculpture that's movable. So like foam with a ferro cement coating, something that the base can be moved in and out of a parking space. So you could get it out with a forklift if you wanted to. Different companies could have it sitting on their property. We could move it around. Parades, like a float parade. Like what I was thinking because I've wanted to do a parade since I moved into this place 34 years ago. And one of the things that I thought would be so cool is if there was floats that were just culturally specific and just have like big, outrageous floats, you know? I think that would be amazing. I saw a thing about there was a there's water murals, water repellent murals. Do you know about those? They're usually on the ground.
Oh,
And you use hydrophobic paint to paint murals on the ground so you only see them when it rains. An example of that I was going to do, and I just haven't gotten to it yet, was to do a dinosaur feet print outside around the walk and where Dora is. So
Yeah.
it looks like she got down and wandered around.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Hydrophobic murals are cool. Like you could just do really simple, like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a fun thing. You don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
It's raining.
That's a cool idea.
And they eventually wear off. So there's no maintenance, but they last for a few years, actually. That paint is shockingly strong.
Depending if cars are going on it or not, right?
Yes. I would say sidewalks are probably
The best.
a better option for that, but yeah, you could. They just would wear off quicker.
So what would be the process of like getting us, like, I don't know too much of the process of getting like a person who does sculptures or like 3D pieces.
Mhm.
How would we source that or where would we look?
We can do a call out. We can check in with other people who do sculptures.
Okay, so it'd be like the same process as for a mural. it's
Exactly.
Just a different media.
Exactly. Somebody who is, we'd want somebody who is familiar with not only sculpting process, but something that is going to last and can be moved about, that sort of thing. Like we have a lot of prop makers in this city, and I know a bunch of them. And, you know, they're artists in their own right, like outside of their, you know, their movie jobs. And I think they did a call out for it.
So if we created a call, how would we just word it or would we have to go through the city and ask them about the?
Well, we'd probably, I assume, because it's not a mural, we need to talk to Cecil about it. Is that right, Mayor? If we did a call out for a sculpture that was movable, it wasn't a permanent sculpture, would we need to talk to Cecil about parameters or anything like that?
Yeah.
If it was movable?
I think that we also needed to present it to the council.
Right.
Yeah, before like to make a proposal of what will be offered.
Okay.
How you will use this funding and
Right.
then they
Like,
will-
and we could have a general thing like an animal that fits the theme or something like that.
Yeah, so I think that it has to be like a proposal
Okay,
that you say what is your plan to, how you plan to use the money,
right.
and then present it to there and then go to the court, you know, so then.
Okay.
Okay, so to be able to present it to the general meeting, we would have to already have like a plan or like an idea of what we're doing and what we're looking for.
Right.
I think that will be the most transparent way to do it.
Right. Like if we decided to go with the parking space thing, but we don't have to, but if we did, we could say, okay, it can't be any wider than an average parking space, which is like 10 feet wide and however long. It's sort of up in the air about how long it is, but we could say these are the parameters. The base couldn't exceed this. It needs to be able to be picked up with a forklift.
It needs to weigh a certain amount.
It needs to weigh a certain amount. You know, we just need to kind of have those details pinned down and then we make a presentation.
We wouldn't be able to make a call for artists until
Until
Yeah.
we get approval from city council.
okay.
And I don't know, is we need to do a presentation or maybe just submit it just as a consent agenda, but it has to have all the So that's the thing that we can ask is all that what
Okay.
would be the more appropriate way. Because sometimes like the mural once was approved, it went through the consent agenda. So we need to do the presentation.
Okay, got it.
I was just asking because I don't know any of the procedure, how anything would work.
So, our next meeting is on the 21st, right, of August? Okay. That's also my last meeting.
Just in the middle
Was-
of the meeting.
Was not in September.
September 15th is when I'm
Oh.
leaving. Yeah, so
Do we have a replacement for you yet?
no, that's up to all y'all here.
Do we what?
Oh, I was asking if we have a replacement. Replacement.
No.
We haven't put up the either.
But there are the two more candidates or something who were applied for.
Bet
To
you
join?
that they would have to
They have to reapply.
Yeah.
And you need to submit in a formal resignation
Right.
by writing, so. Mhm.
Mm. So, is there anything I need to do about that?
Just a letter.
I just write a letter.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's all very interesting. I had something else I'm trying to remember. Should have wrote it down. Okay, so another idea I think for possible use of funds would be something like a workshop or something that gives like a week long of workshop lessons to kids or something like that. Whatever, you know.
That would probably be best for like next year when they're in, well, we could also do it during winter break when they're out of school.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be during a break or like a weekend thing or however. It's just another option.
But Dart has programs like that, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Dart
have,
does have-
yeah, we have got, we have summer programs. like that.
And remember that there was certain limitation in the master plan of what is considered public art.
Right.
And I don't know, is a training was part or no?
It's a good question. Let me go back and look at the parameters.
Yeah, because I think when we did the presentation for the funding, there was some limitation that said that it's not in the definition that was included there. So,
You can get
Okay,
somebody to do tours. Art tours,
Art tours.
the city,
Once a month?
right, they need to have a van.
Another request that was done related with art is a community member from the Norwood
Community?
neighborhood.
Yeah.
They say that they would like to do a pedestrian painting, kind of like the one is of the Scramble in New Peachtree in front of the metro station. And the process is because it's in a public street, they have to do an application to the ADAT plot.
Right, because it's got to be closed off.
Yeah, exactly. So then basically it's kind of like a combination between a data plot application and the R application, public R application.
Okay.
So in the description, they have to be more, provide more information, the render of the art, a description of how they will implement it, and then bring it here. The city will review it to see, have all the information, and then present it to the art commission, and then we'll go like any public art.
I'm guessing that they don't have any placement, like any certain placement yet. That would be part of the information that's missing, right?
The location will be McLeod and Chestnut Drive. I think was the location that they were suggesting.
Okay.
And so but all the details, they only were asking for what will be the procedure.
Well, that's exciting. I like things that are coming from the community rather than from us. I like those ideas.
It's always nice to have community input.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up on Google really quickly. That we moved. You said Chestnut Drive and
McClay?
McClave.
We could also potentially have the like the boxing club owner and stuff if they want to come talk to us at one of these meetings. You know, just to give us input.
I was gonna ask for a point. We had talked about like, I think it was Happy Karaoke that they wanted to do like a mural on their facade, but it couldn't be related to anything with their business, right? So that would still apply to the
Right.
boxing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that
it
would be
can't have logos.
It just can't have logos. It can be
something that
related to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it
It has to still maintain community diversity, but it can, because I think I'd presented a long time ago, I'd presented something to Tower that was related tangentially, but it also met community diversity. But they didn't want that because they wanted the logo. So,
Yeah.
um,
It can't be construed as signage. Like it can't
Right.
be,
okay.
it can't have the name of the business.
right. It can't have what they sell, but,
So potentially, and like, I'm just talking hypothetically, right? So if they want like kids that are like boxing on the side of their building, yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that because it's related to their business and it would serve as advertisement or.
Depends
yeah, I
on
think
what
it has to be more artistic, more creative, no as direct.
Okay,
Mhm.
like I think, like it is example, just hypothetically,
yeah,
not that I haven't stared and thought about this several times, but like the side of the English Corner, that big white
Yeah,
space on English Corner, they've actually got two white great white space. So they sell bait fish.
yes.
But if you had a mural that was like,
Fishing,
or like a whale eating a smaller fish, eating a smaller fish, eating a smaller fish, eating a smaller fish, and you somehow wove community vitality and diversity into that, you could reasonably do that. But it would have to meet those standards.
potentially like Dr. Seuss, red fish, blue fish.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
cute.
I mean I think the spirit of it is just like, are they trying to get around the signage
Right.
laws? And I think it's kind of
And
one
it's
of
easy to
those-
know that when you see it.
when you know it when you see it kind of thing. Like, is it a sign or is it a piece of public art? Like, that's the question. And that's probably a little bit subjective sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
Do you have any other input? Okay.
So you can make a summary of what will be the potential and it's.
Yeah, we're looking at potentially maybe funding a public sculpture, something movable, potentially using it as a like a match grant for businesses that want to put up public art, potentially using it as a workshop, workshop funding or parade funding, something like that. We did mention electrical boxes in the beginning.
Yep.
If we wanted to fund that project.
Do you know how much a sculpture usually like what a baseline would be? Because I know it could like range if they're making it out of like solid gold to like.
Right. You know what? Let me do some numbers on just different material.
Something, just like,
Something.
like we're not talking about like marble.
Right. Yeah, no, but like if somebody, so like I would say probably a common, if we want something to last for a while, the most common material would be fiberglass. You did fiberglass over foam.
Okay.
So foam's pretty expensive. Fiberglass is not, depending on, what you're using, how much you're using, the thicknesses, that sort of thing. So I can get some sort of ballpark
Because I think the ones I've like actually looked hard on
Mhm.
are usually made out of metal.
Yeah,
But-
we can, I mean, the sculpture that we did get approved, which is the,
Dora?
no, the giant lighter.
Okay.
That came out to 7,000 and change,
Okay.
and that was steel.
Okay. So you can look at like what fiberglass or foam would,
Yeah,
just to get a
Right.
ballpark estimate and
Yeah.
see if it's something that we'd be working on this year or maybe in the future.
right.
Okay, and we also talked about the GCA grant that we could potentially apply to if we have an idea of what we're funding. And that is coming up in just over a month for the deadline for that. So we'd have to think about that pretty quick. Was the special needs grant thing, could we fund that with that, or do they still need that?
We can reach out again to the trainer person that was going to provide it to see
Yeah.
if it's interesting.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, if that's something that fits the grant, we could attempt to do that again.
So like try to reapply, but just for that portion.
Yeah. Which we already have written. We would just have to edit it. Because we already did the first application. So we could just take out the,
Yeah, or decide for the electrical. Yeah, we can, whatever you decide, we
Yeah.
can check it out again.
okay. Is there anything else we need to cover?
No, I was just curious about the mural submissions that were attached to the package. Did we have an update on that?
Say again?
The mural submissions?
Oh, yes, that, well, you all approved the Teresa, and then the council members also approved that, your recommendation. And the artist is out of town and she will be here in August, early August. So the process is that once she signed the agreement, she will produce, if there is any change in the layout that she presented, she have a part of the contract that it can do 2 changes. And then it will be submitted to the Department of Transportation. And then we'll go through the whole process. And when they approve it, so then we will schedule the installation.
Okay, so the changes would be the things that we talked about, even though I don't think we talked about any changes for this submission.
I don't think we wanted any changes with it.
No.
I didn't,
I liked it the way it is.
Maybe
like it.
maybe the side of the Dora bill from the under on the bridge is little.
I guess it could, like the little banner that has Dorville could benefit from being just a little bit wider,
yeah.
but that would be probably nitpicky.
I mean, I think it's still pretty big, right? Like if that's
That's gonna be a
it'd be
good
like 20
4
feet across, I think.
That's still gonna be like 4 or 5 feet wide.
Yeah. I mean, I don't maybe when you're speeding by, it's hard to see. I don't know.
Oh, Connecticut? I didn't know I was there so quickly.
That's the process. I didn't say that has to be a change. That's the process and the opportunities that there
Yeah.
is any.
Yeah, I think overall we were happy with it, but
Did GDOT have anything to say about it?
They
haven't seen it yet.
To submit the final design
Okay,
in addition to a whole application. So
So after we submit it, they would still be able to have any commentary or any like decision on making changes to the design?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know, it's in design, probably is in the implementation, because that will be on a public road. So then is that will be closed or no? And they also include or request of our community engagement. So they also can have a say in that area.
Okay. The one that's probably closest to the highway probably wouldn't be eligible for community
Yeah, because it will be safe.
safety concerns.
For safety concern. The land is also not flat, so it has to be more logistic for that. So have a people there probably.
And I believe that they've been putting plants around here since the picture was taken. Like there's now like more landscaping
In the city of Doraville?
on the one that would be on 285.
Oh, yes, yeah. But I think that's in the front. In front of that.
Okay.
Mhm. It's kind of like more in the island between Stewart and Motor Industrial that have more landscaping. The same in the exit and entrance to the city, to the 285. They also, last month and a half, they finished the installation of landscape.
So other than that, we don't have a timeline of when it would probably be ready, probably like towards early next year, right?
Yeah, it will be, I think that once the artists sign the agreement, they planning to submit it as soon as possible. But then will be the time that GDOT take it.
Mhm.
And I think for other artists that has been working in other locations, sometimes it can be a little,
Hmm.
so, but who
Um,
knows?
do you think it might be a good idea to, this is back to what we were talking about before, put out like a public survey or something to ask the public, like, what do they think we should do with public art funding?
I think that in the survey that we did 2 years ago, they have a what kind of, so I can bring back the result because
Yeah.
that was not too long ago.
Yeah, yeah,
and
that'd be interesting.
They have a good representation. There was a 300 and something, 330 or something like that, that completed.
Yeah.
So,
Because when we did that, we didn't have any funding. So, but now that we do, we can.
yeah, but I think that when we did the idea was to have an overall idea what the community thinks. So
Right.
it's covered there.
Yeah.
It was a big list of options, so I can bring you the result of the survey.
Okay.
You don't remember any of them off the top of your head, right? Or it's just generally what we talked about?
Results.
Yeah.
I think I saw the results. I'll see if I can find them.
Mhm. But I can share with you the results.
Other than different types of artwork, we probably want to decentralize all of the art that's like right on Buford Highway to like other areas that are sometimes forgotten.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was part of what I was thinking about for the phases of the electrical box.
Mhm.
I mean, potentially you could you could look at that
The map.
map again and then look at like, where don't we have public art and focus on those areas or something like that.
I've also seen birdhouse poles where a bunch of artists have done birdhouses.
Oh,
And then they stacked them one on top of each other on an existing pole, or they installed a pole and did it. Because all you have to do, no, I saw it somewhere else, but all you have to do is attach like a, one of those big screw-on gaskets to the back, and it'll attach to any pole, and then you can take it down if you want, or,
Hmm.
and the birds might use it. You don't know.
that's interesting.
But I thought that'd be cool, like that would be a
Birdhouse art.
a very cool collaboration with a bunch of people. And then you've got this, like the same objects represented differently. And I've always really liked that. I always thought it looked really sharp when you have a bunch of the same object.
That'd probably be best for like a park or something.
Yeah, we could do it in a park, but
I don't-
not necessarily. I mean, you could even do it like on a busy street corner. Because they're very distinctive, because far away they look like a pole, a really colorful pole. And then it's not until you get up on it that you realize they're birdhouses. They don't have to be used in that.
Would it be on like a tree, or would it have to be like on a wooden pole?
I think it would have to be on a pole,
And then it would
just so
be-
we could control the diameter. And also you don't want to restrict the tree growing, when you start attaching art to trees, it gets a little crazy for the tree. But I think a pole would be, not only, it could be temporary. So if somebody's like, hey, let's have a birdhouse pole for 2 months or 5 months or a year, and then we'll take it down.
It would just like be concerning what pole we could put it on
Exactly.
and what like Georgia Power would like pay us. for.
Right, but it wouldn't even necessarily have to be a pole for Georgia Power. I mean, it could be,
Okay, we can install a
Could be
pole.
a
we could
flag.
install a pole, it could be a flag pole, it could be anything. We're gonna get creative with the pole.
Mhm.
You're too excited about this pole situation.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about the bird. I like, I had it in the back of my head, and then I started thinking about it, and it just.
We're still
looked
talking about birdhouses, right?
so interesting. The birdhouses just look so interesting in my head. I just think it'd be a very cool, interesting idea.
Well, I think that because you discussed a lot last year and at the beginning of the year, the electrical, I think maybe that will be something that can be easy to approach because you already have the map.
Yep.
You already have the cost. So
So the cost for electrical boxes was exactly 2,000, or was it like,
So the
Max.
cost was essentially, we were looking at what Chambly had paid per box. And so you were giving $2,000 per artist per box.
Right.
okay,
So it's
So-
just straight, and the
And-
artist would bring the paint.
They would do the materials, and we, to a degree, tell them what kind of materials could be used.
Right.
Because we just we didn't want spray paint, I think was the main thing.
Yeah.
because I do, now that we're like running through this, I remember I had suggested like my old teacher at Dunwoody High School, she was saying that when senior students need their like credits and stuff like that, that they would be willing to do it probably like at a lower cost, as long as they are able to do it through students. Because essentially, I guess students can't get paid.
Yeah, there was a situation where, earlier where, we wanted to engage some high school students to do work, and we were not able to because there is a standing rule about not being able to pay a student directly for something.
Okay.
I think that,
So what if the funding would go to their art department?
I don't know. Yeah, that's out of my wheelhouse.
Would that be something we'd have to talk to the lawyer when?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't know. The yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assume, well,
Because that way we could do more with our budget with,
True.
like, instead of doing just maybe 3 and just having 1,000 extra, we could probably do 5 or 6.
yeah, I mean, if they're doing good work, though, I'd rather just pay them the normal amount. You
Yeah.
know, like if they're doing the same kind of work with the same quality as we'd expect,
Yeah.
Okay.
just
yeah, I think like The quality is a big factor, because we are a small city and we don't have so many funding things like you will redo again a certain time. So the art has to be a little more permanent, I think,
Yep.
for now.
Okay.
So, there, like Clarkston, I think they use the students for the art department in the Georgia State that is part of Clarkston area. So they have a program that is to do public art too. So I don't know the cost, but that will be something that couldn't be explored.
Right.
Is
That was adults if they're in.
yeah, there are
Yeah.
exactly.
You could also do an artistic fountain.
Artistic fountain.
Artistic fountain, a tile installation.
The thing is that so many things, we could do so many things, but most of them would probably be best at like the city hall, which is right now being,
Why?
yeah,
I'm
so,
just throwing it out.
yeah, like that would be great for like,
Well, that's why I would love like to have.
we still don't have the plans.
I would love to have like community driven,
Engagement.
like what the idea is coming from the community. So I like this idea of the like art crossing thing, like coming from, a specific neighborhood or something like that. And if we could somehow drum some of that up and then fund that, I think that's like the best possible use rather than us like dictating that like a certain thing's going to happen. But, that's not always possible. But someone out there has a good idea, like, and they just need like a couple $1,000 to make it happen. So hopefully,
Well, like you were saying, maybe create this fund,
yeah,
and people can be creative and you can give them more open parameters. And so it's kind of like what we are applying now,
yeah,
but our funds is more small, so.
yeah. Could be the Doraville Art Commission grant for the decorative fountains or something, or whatever.
Where are the fountains here?
Just artistic. Well, we don't have any. That's the problem.
There is one here in Tilly Mill.
If we put a fountain, they could throw coins inside of it.
And then we can collect the coins.
But
not-
your wish only
that's not
comes
a bad
true
idea.
if you put $1 coins in there, right? Yes. We
You
put
just
a.
you
big
can have it just
legend.
like automatically drain into a container. We'll filter out the coins.
But you're right. Like for some of the more permanent installations, we're just gonna have to wait until we've got permanent buildings.
Right.
Because I would love for like so much, like more art to be centralized in Doraville instead of just on Beaufort Highway.
Right.
Well, you could also consider it like we have a lot of time to think about
Yeah.
a sculpture garden or something that will be part of the new downtown.
I would love like an art walk.
Yeah.
Like, where Peachtree. There's so many Peachtree.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the art walk that starts with the wind sculptures, right?
No.
Yeah, it's where the parade starts.
Okay, Oak Cliff, between Oak Cliff and
Oh.
Marta on Peachtree Road.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's Peachtree Road, right?
Yeah.
She's just like you. I would love like for like maybe just for a fall thing, like people put up like things inside like a encapsulated acrylic or something that we put there, and then people can do like an art walk. Like they can go down the street and there's like different
I like displays.
displays of
Oh,
public
yeah.
art.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Kind of an interesting idea.
Also, there's an option.
We could
for,
rotate it.
little art libraries instead of little book libraries, little art libraries. Take some art, leave some art.
That would all.
Got to be within a,
With art supplies. Take art supplies.
yeah.
Lots of ideas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you also talk about that once the city hall Movement of Air started is they put some kind of protection to that area. You talk about that maybe create a temporary art that display in that area.
Yeah. Do we know what contractor would be providing that?
Of course, the city have the,
Yeah, because I guess we would have to be talking to them about that, right?
We don't have any plans for it, right? Like the actual
The barriers.
planos.
no.
Sorry.
But I remember that you mentioned something when we start talking about the possibility to have that area available.
Yeah. Could have, or like even just having like banners printed or something that could be attached. It's an idea.
So how will be the process of deciding these ideas, making the proposal, or moving the money for next year, or how you are envision to do that?
I think it would have to, we'd have to look at the community input that we talked about, that
Mhm.
Adam was just suggesting, and see what way the community wanted to move and see how we can align what we have towards that plan.
Right. We can also prioritize the things that we can do now as opposed to things that we can do once there's permanent buildings.
Yeah. Or what we can start planning and saving for,
Right.
That would also be great.
you know?
Like for bigger projects, maybe a metallic sculpture.
Yeah. Because you could plan to say like, hey, we're going to save X amount of dollars out of this funding every year until, you know,
We hit our goal.
until we hit the goal for a certain project.
Yeah.
That's-
This isn't even a whole year's worth of
Right. This is just
6 months, 7 months.
7 months. Yeah. I think it's technically from October.
And each one is like an average of like what, $7,000? Not 7,000, 700.
Like that.
Yeah, give or take.
What was that?
So each total from each production is like an average of $700.
Oh, no,
I can do the math. I just
yeah,
was
it's
guessing.
the pen, you know.
Yeah. And also, I know that production moves in seasons too. So there could be big periods of activity and then drops in activity.
Yeah.
Or a strike. And then there's no activity.
I don't think it's to establish an average because it depends on what kind of service, how many days they are going to use it. So, and the other thing to keep in mind is like some of them were done for facilities that are now doesn't exist. So,
Okay. Well. All good? Okay. So, I mean, I think we have a lot to think about. If I'm sure that the survey results are probably somewhere in our emails, but
Yeah.
if we find it, we can send it back out so we can all look at that.
I would need someone to forward it because I don't think I was here 2 years ago. Or her.
Yeah, of course.
I can send you that,
Okay.
the result of that.
Okay. Well, on that note, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Now I gotta go get up and down a ladder. Here, hand me the denied. Make the
That one.
Nixon joke.